And I believe already measures have been taken by federal authorities and indeed by individuals to start rationing energy as of today.
Absolutely. Germany and the German government in particular has a whole plan to try and guarantee the country's energy security in view of these reduced supplies coming from Russia, coming from Gazprom in particular through the very important Nord Stream 1 pipeline. One very important element of that emergency plan is to increase gas storage in the coming months, especially looking towards the very cold winter months here in Germany. A second element of that plan, Darren, is to diversify energy sources, on the one hand through renewables, but on the other hand also by reusing coal-powered plants and maybe even also using nuclear power plants. That's something that's being discussed right now here in Germany. And the third element is urging citizens, but also urging businesses to save as much energy as possible, in particular as much gas as possible, considering that it's seen here in Germany as a challenge that everyone will face. It's not only a challenge for the government or for businesses, it's also a challenge that ultimately comes down to the citizens themselves.
And what's been the political reaction to all of this? Because we know the EU energy ministers met yesterday trying to see if a cap can be imposed, though it's voluntary, it doesn't apply to everyone. Is there a sense that this is straining not just political opinion across Europe, but indeed within Germany itself?
To a large extent, yes. I think some in Germany and in general the EU wanted rather more binding agreement at the EU level. And as you mentioned, it was not binding, it's voluntary. There are loads of opt-outs as well there. And that has to do with the fact that different countries have different energy needs. And when you look at Germany's energy need, Germany has indeed a dependence on Russian energy. It has reduced that dependence compared to the months before the war. Before the war, Germany's dependence on Russian gas was around 55%. Now they've reduced it to about a third of gas imports, but it's still way too much. So when Russia threatens to stop gas deliveries or reduces gas deliveries, that obviously causes a lot of concern here in Germany. And that's the reason why all these plans have been put in place. And it's not only plans. Chancellor Olaf Scholz interrupted his holiday, his summer break. He came back to Berlin on Friday and announced a raft of measures to help citizens that are particularly affected by the increase in prices, but also help businesses that are in desperate need. The German government announced a bailout of Uniper. Uniper is the country's largest importer of Russian gas. That's a massive bailout and a massive news story here in Germany. So certainly a lot of concern here in Germany about not only what the situation now, but also what could lie in store in the next few weeks and months.